Welcome to Marketplace Finds, where we show off some crazy and interesting cars for sale, judge what we think of the price, then order it in our tier list. You ever see a truck so green it makes the Hulk look like he needs iron supplements? Well, here you go. It's a 1985 Chevrolet Blazer with paint that isn't just green, it's retina-searing Nickelodeon toxic slime green, but man is it clean. Underneath that, you've got a lift so big it should come with a nosebleed warning, and it's topped off with a set of chrome wheels so massive they look like they were stolen off a carnival Ferris wheel. Every single piece of suspension under it has been powder coated to match, because heaven forbid a single bolt escape the color scheme. Slide inside and it's like stepping into the VIP lounge at the Ninja Turtles club. Black vinyl with bright green stripes on the seats, a matching dash and color coded speakers that somehow still has that old school cool feel to it, except the iPad in the center console. I have no idea why, but the seller didn't include any engine pictures, which is surprising considering it's got a LS 5.3 with a bunch of modifications. The owner wants $65,000, and in fairness there's a lot of custom work here, but this is the kind of truck that appeals to exactly two types of buyers: the person who built it and the one other guy in the county who's mad he didn't. Next up we have a 2007 Ford Mustang, the kind of build that happens when a Mustang gets rear-ended, takes the insurance payout, and immediately spends it all at Tractor Supply and Harbor Freight. And we're not joking about the rear-ending part, because they even gave us pre-off-road build photos so you can see it's had a few knocks. Now it's sitting on 33-inch mud tires with a 3-inch lift, which is basically like putting combat boots on a ballerina. Sure, she can wear them, but everyone's gonna stare and wonder what happened to her childhood. The fenders and quarter panels have been cut so far back for tire clearance they look like they were attacked by a pack of angry beavers. And here's the kicker: after all that cutting, the seller admits the tires still rub. It's got a spare tire rack in the back, because with the way those 33s chew fenders, you're going to need it. And it's got a rear bar, which is probably less for better exit angle off-roading, but to help with the owner's PTSD of being rear-ended. Under the hood, the absolute legend, the powerhouse, the fire-breathing 4-litre V6 automatic. Yep, the same engine that made Ford Ranger owners say, it's not that bad. The seller didn't put a price on it, asking for swaps for other cool cars or an actual truck. So if you like to park outside Dollar General at 2 AM with a fishing pole sticking out the window and an empty Bush light box in the back seat, you'd better offer something up. Buckle up for this next one, as it's a Chrysler 300 with more questionable decisions than a Vegas wedding at 3 AM. This has been chopped, slammed, shaved, and is so glossy you could do your hair in the reflection. That's if you can stand staring into the poor life choices that led to buying this car. It's had a car lobotomy chop with no convertible top, no cover, nothing. Park this thing outside for a week and you're either growing mold in the seats or cooking scrambled eggs on the dashboard. It's sitting on wheels so big they make speed bumps feel like tiny road freckles and are wrapped in some rubber bands pretending to be tires. And then we get to the interior, which has enough speakers to be classed as a military grade crowd disperser weapon, but at least you won't be able to hear any annoying passengers talk. The seats are covered in what can only be called spilled coffee patina, and the cherry on top is quite possibly the most insane steering wheel you'll likely ever see in your life. The seller is asking for $25,000, and for that kind of money I'd rather 3 slightly dented Camrys that will each outlive the human race. You ever see a vehicle that immediately lets you know whoever chose that color combination is definitely colorblind? This Christmas colored car is a Buick Regal, and as much as I hate the color combination, it's honestly done pretty damn well. From the very few photos we get, you can actually see how clean, reflective and sparkly the metallic green is, and it's far from a backyard spray can job we always see. Moving to the interior is where things get really crazy. It's so aggressively pink, it could make Pepto-Bismol sue for copyright infringement, and the dash has so many woofers, it could double as a dog kennel. The seller is after $7,500, and I'll be honest, I have no clue how much these are worth at all. You ever see two things that have no business being together, yet somehow they're perfect, like chicken and waffles? That's exactly what happened here. Someone took a dainty little 1960 Nash Metropolitan, a car originally designed for driving to the country club or picking up milk in 1960s suburbia, and dropped it on a Suzuki Samurai 4x4 drivetrain. The result? A pocket-sized off-road monster in turquoise and white that looks like it escaped from a Pixar movie. It's even got the removable fiberglass top, means you can run it as a hardtop for car shows or go topless for parades, beach cruises, and making Wrangler owners feel inadequate. Inside this little beast, it's all matching turquoise and black, and just like the outside seems to be done beautifully, and it's hard to see, but there's some extra sidebars connected to the roll cage just to make it a little bit safer. Pop the hood and you'll find the beating heart of a Suzuki Samurai, a compact, reliable little 4-cylinder that's built to get you places most Nash Metropolitans would never dream of going. And obviously it's not going to get you there fast, but that's not what this was made for. Now at $14,500 or best offer, it's not a cheap gag, but let's be real, you buy it knowing full well you'll never see another one like it in your lifetime.
Give me a hell yeah!
This 1961 Cadillac hearse has been resurrected from the dead itself and turned into a full monster truck with tyres the size of backyard swimming pools. From the giant Phantom script on the side to the 13 racing bucket seats inside, this isn't just a retired monster truck, it's a ghost bus that can crush a Prius without spilling your Mountain Dew. If you get sick of carrying around passengers too, you could probably just use it as a building demolition vehicle, like a redneck killdozer. The price is a crazy $90,000, but you'll be buying the only funeral car in America that could literally bury the competition. This is Midnight Special, a 1988 Chevy van with enough suspicious modifications that there's not a cop in the country who wouldn't immediately pull it over to check the back. Let's just start with the elephant in the room, the massive Midnight Special script along the sides, which we all know is just code for, yes, there's a bed inside, and yes, it's been used. Other than that, we have what might be the most bipolar paint job we've ever seen. There are at least 10 different colours, patterns or designs everywhere you look like some sort of psychedelic buffet, and it sort of works. The back doors have some bonus designs, but more hilariously or worryingly is the Candyman plate, which acts as a warning label for parents to keep their kids at least 200 feet away. Open the doors and it's like stepping into a giant bag of Skittles. The entire ceiling is covered in high pile rainbow shag, so plush you could smother a man in it and no one would ever find the body. Now I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting a grimy mattress sitting in the back, but instead we get a couch that's probably older than the van, but at least that means you probably won't pick up a disease just from sitting on it. So for $13,500, you too can become the neighborhood's most suspicious person. This is a 1998 Geo Metro that looks like it got bitten by a radioactive Need for Speed player and mutated into a rally car through sheer willpower and questionable paint choices. The body is wrapped, painted, sneezed on in a chaotic blend of pink, purple and black streaks, like someone tried to murder a unicorn with a paintbrush. From the front, you're greeted by 3 off-road lights bolted to the bumper, which is hilarious because the car sits low enough to get stuck on a speed bump. And then there's the wing. It's a full aluminum bracketed monstrosity that could probably double as a clothesline. It's got internet slang and tiny emoji symbols on it, like the final boss of Tumblr circa 2011. This heroic little shoebox is listed for $10,000. Yes, you heard that right, 10 grand for a car with 200,000 miles, the aerodynamic properties of a toaster, and an engine that makes about as much power as a weed eater. If a Sharka jet fighter and a Power Ranger Zord had a baby, you'd end up with this thing. It's a 2013 street legal kit car dressed up like a Campagna T-Rex, which is basically the automotive equivalent of strutting into a gym with inflatable biceps. The look is pure alien escape pod mixed with a motorcycle with the nose so pointy it could slice deli meat. The paint and bodywork looks great and has reportedly had a few touch-ups over the years, so that checks out. It's got a rear tire as wide as a pizza oven and gull-wing doors that make sure everyone at the gas station stops what they're doing to stare. Power comes from a Suzuki Hayabusa motorcycle engine, so that's almost 200 horsepower and something that weighs about as much as a large doghouse. It's mated to a sequential gearbox, so you've basically got a street legal roller coaster for 2. On the inside we've got bucket seats, a removable steering wheel and 2 big speakers that almost take up half of the dash. Basically being a motorcycle, it of course doesn't have AC, but at least you get some desk fans to help with the heat. At $34,000, it's cheaper than most used Lamborghinis, but delivers about 90% of the shock value. But for that price, there's a lot better buys out there. It's just one of those days! Behold, the Apocalypse Slayer 9000, because apparently Midlife Crisis 5000 was already taken. It started life as a 2004 Xterra, but as you can see has escaped from the set of a low-budget Mad Max sequel, directed by your uncle who still wears fingerless leather gloves. It comes with features such as a goat skull, a fake 50 cal bolted to the roof, a camo paint job done in the backyard after 3-4 Locos, and questionable bodywork. It's priced at only $5,000, which means you can own a genuine movie prop from Bad Seeds Reap What You Sow, a film so obscure that even IMDb hasn't heard of it. Nothing screams high-class party bus quite like a 2003 Ford E350 rocking a tuxedo on the hood. The whole bus is blacked out, so at least you can hide from your neighbours on their way to church after a night out. On the back, we've got Where the Party Begins, plastered along the bumper, and judging by the scratch paintwork, more than a few ladies have found their boyfriend in here when they shouldn't be. Don't think we didn't miss the Nature's handbrake underneath that wheel too. Step inside and you're met with seats and poles that have got more streaks and stains than a Waffle House floor at 3 AM. I assume the random leftover trash and clothing is an added bonus with the sale too. They're asking $6,000 for this rolling club on wheels, which honestly doesn't seem too bad if you wanted to convert it into a house moving service. At first, I had no clue what the hell I was looking at. I thought maybe it was a Ford Ranger that mated with the snowmobile after a few too many drinks, or a Tonka truck that got drafted into the Winter Olympics. But no, this is a 1990 ASV track truck, the kind of machine that makes you want to clear land you don't own just for the thrill of it. The paint has that perfect rescued from the weeds patina, which in this case isn't some fancy barn find charm. it's just literal scratches and sunburn. The front proudly says track truck, in case you were worried you might confuse it for a Civic. On the sides, you've got a Frankenstein blend of panels that look like they were borrowed from 3 different vehicles and a ride-on mower. But the tracks are pretty awesome, and I know this would be fun to tear up the snow in, albeit slowly I imagine. Underneath, it's powered by an Isuzu diesel with only 400 hours, which means it'll outlive you and your kids, or until the rest of the body rusts away. For the $12,000 asking price, it's definitely no steal, but what other vehicle could you cross a glacier, a swamp, and your neighbour's koi pond without breaking a sweat? Here we have the 2024 Gem E2, a street-legal electric golf cart that thinks it's a car. Technically it is, but only in the same way that a hot dog is technically a sandwich. The body shape is just straight up comical, but at least it's got a backup camera, sunroof, and a radio, all great features for something that tops out at medium jogging pace. Safety-wise, let's be honest, if you crash this thing, you're basically in a plastic Easter egg. The frame is about as reassuring as a fold-up lawn chair, and it probably handles crosswinds like a Walmart shopping cart. It's listed as like new, with only 90 miles on it, which is a nice way of saying we drove it for one afternoon and realized it sucks. That big white storage bin on the back, perfect for groceries, beach gear, or hauling away your pride after your neighbors see you drive this. The asking price was $15,000, and shockingly someone bought it. I guess someone really wanted to drive the most mockable thing on the road. The Honda Accord Crosstour is already one of Honda's weirdest cars, a mix between a crossover and a shoe. But now this one is sitting on 30-inch wheels, so big they could double as satellite dishes for NASA. Those low-profile tires look like they're about 3mm thick. You could run over a Lego and instantly need $1,200 worth of rim repair. And don't let the black-on-black paint and tint fool you into thinking it's subtle. These wheels are louder than a marching band in a library. The seller is looking for $9,000 for this Crosstour with 170,000 miles on it, which isn't a deal. It's more of a buy one Crosstour, get 4 pizza-sized manhole covers free package. Here's a little bonus build we came across trudging through the depths of Marketplace. It's a 1960s VW Bug that's been reincarnated, not as a rat rod, not as a Baja build, but as the single coolest barbecue setup your neighborhood will ever see. Don't let the rust and patina turn you away. This thing has had the full artisan treatment here, with cedar bar tops, a built-in cooler in the front, and even some built-in speakers. The whole thing's on steel casters too, so you can slowly parade it past jealous neighbors while wearing a chef's hat like a crown. The seller's asking $2,800 or best offer, which is a good price compared to other ones we've seen on here. Here's how the final tier list ended up. Let us know what we got right, what we got wrong, if there's anything you'd change around. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.